your treatment now at torrentcure.com.
في الطابور بتاع العلاج. هنا بنقول الأمل أصبح حقيقة.
ذات الانتظار لمرضى فيروس سي حدث غاية في الأهمية. أن تكون رئيسة منظمة الصحة العالمية هنا شاهدا ومؤكدا على هذه الحقيقة والإنجاز شيء رائع.
Thank you, Mona.
Margaret Chan, Director General of WHO, the Egyptian project of eliminating HCV.
Yes.
How would you evaluate it after what you've seen?
Well, I want to take this opportunity to congratulate the Egyptian government from the top leadership, the President, the Prime Minister, and of course, His Excellency, the Minister of Health, for their commitment to provide treatment to people in Egypt for hepatitis C. Now, this is a disease that is curable with the new antiviral medicine that came on the market from USA. But the medicine was too expensive.
Yes.
And it cost $84,000 US dollars to treat one patient. But, under the leadership of the Ministry of Health and Population, they have started negotiation to negotiate the price down. And the price has kept coming down. And now it is affordable. And so the government promised to make sure that every Egyptian has access to the treatment. But of course, now the government has a much better program, starting from prevention and to make sure people are tested and proper testing before they get treatment for hepatitis C. So this is a very successful public health project. And I want to congratulate you, Minister, for the excellent work.
Do you think that what Egypt did, we can say it's a model, a unique model? It's not, it was not done before in any other country?
Yes, indeed. Egypt is the first country and was the first country, still is the first country who has, managed to bring down the price of essential medicine for patients with hepatitis C. And WHO does not believe any individual should be denied of life-saving treatment.
So, Margaret Chan, you think that when governments could provide medicine with cheap prices, that makes the huge difference?
Of course it does. The good thing is in Egypt, the government is, encouraging the use of what we call generic medicine. Medicine, that is of the same quality, safety and efficacy, but does not have a brand name, so to speak, as not an original medicine. WHO, as a matter of policy, encourage governments to use generic. What we can help the government is to test the generic medicine and to visit the manufacturer and make sure their standard of production meets the top standard. And now, if you can introduce generic medicine, it will bring down the price. And the competition between generic company and the originator company is a huge benefit for the country. Egypt's experience on hepatitis C in negotiating the price for generic effective antiviral is a model.
In third world countries or developing countries, charity is playing a very big role in healthcare. However, this example and what you say, Margaret Chan, say that the country ownership of the health sector is really the main thing that we can depend on. Charity projects, how much it is big, it's fruitful, it cannot do anything.
I agree with you 100%. This is a very smart question. Charity come and go. Government investment in the health of the people will maintain sustainability. And that's the most important thing.
So under any circumstances, economic, political, countries should not withdraw from its big role of healthcare.
Investing in health is actually investing in the country's brain power. You need educated, healthy human capital to support the country's development. And countries in the past used to look at health as an expenditure. They do not see health as an investment in human capital. But now more and more countries change that thinking. And they know for a fact that if they don't have healthy people, educated people, they cannot compete in the economy.
Egypt has one very big part of the battle because they did manufacture the medicine here.
Yeah.
They did not depend on the very expensive formulas that are coming from outside.
Right.
Do you think that exotic medicine companies would let a country like us or other countries to continue this experience?
Well, I think we have many experience in the past where originator medicines are used by some countries, but at the same time, some countries also with the technical support of WHO, with our pre-qualification program, we can, assess whether generic medicine is of the same quality, same efficacy. If they are equal in terms of effectiveness for treating the disease, we would recommend the government to use generic.
You could have this very big fight with those companies and with the FDA, and it's not an easy thing to go with it.
Some countries will buy from the originator. Yeah, it's a competition. And I think, as I said, countries cannot afford the originator medicine, okay?
Yes.
And if they continue to provide that medicine, it will bankrupt the health budget. Yes. And you cannot allow that to happen.
Yes.
So it is wise for the government to find alternatives.
This is very important.
To find alternatives, but from the perspective of the patient, their disease get cured. And for the government, they pay less. I mean, it's a win-win formula. Allow me to use an example,
please.
As women, we know that. They are very expensive branded goods, but they are also very affordable, equivalent. You see, that is the difference. I don't need to pay so much money for a handbag, but I can still carry a handbag.
Yes, but with a huge difference. I mean,
branded goods can be quite expensive. If people who can afford it, by all means. But if I think that
it's a matter of life, not for individuals,
yes,
for nations.
That's why I said the government takes a very strong position and make the announcement that all patients in Egypt with hepatitis C will get treatment.
Do you think that what Egypt did in this sense, it was like you classify it, or you can see it as a clever move or strong will, or both?
It takes political commitment and determination and persistence to find solutions. But most important, in order to make these things work, is to have the interests of people in this country at heart.
Yes. My very last question, exploiting having Margaret Chan with us. You were elected for 2 terms for the WHO, and you're about to have the new elections. And you spent a decade on the top of the most important health organization in the world. During those 10 years, what was the most difficult challenge that you have met concerning world health?
Actually, world health has many challenges. We are dealing with a group of disease called non-communicable diseases. It kills more people in any country than other diseases. Now, but the media high-profile disease are usually the communicable diseases, like Ebola, like yellow fever. These diseases attract media attention. But if you look at diseases that kill more people, they are heart disease, diabetes, cancer, and chronic lung disease. And many of these diseases are preventable. And it is important.
Very surprising. I thought that Mrs. Chan would say it was Zika, Ebola, H1N5 or H5N5.
Those are high-profile diseases. High-profile communicable diseases. The media pay a lot of attention to it. Political leaders pay a lot of attention to it. But they are silent killers. Heart disease is still number one in terms of killing people. And people die too young because of heart disease. People die in the 40s, 50s. Too young to die. So, and these diseases are preventable. You reduce salt, reduce trans fat, drink less, and then no tobacco smoking, and be very active. And these will help you to reduce your risk of getting non-communicable diseases. And that is our number one, as a group of disease, the number one killer worldwide.
So this is the most challenging thing during 10 years on the top of WHO.
It is challenging because it involves behavioral change on the individuals and on the population as a whole. But this is an area where the government can do a lot. When we talk about public health, government policy can be quite effective. For example, increase tobacco tax, and you can see the sales and the use of tobacco will come down. If you increase tax for sugar drinks, then children will drink less. And if you impose regulation on, marketing of unhealthy food, it's very effective. But whether governments have the courage to do that, why? The point you make earlier is about business. It's all about business. For the big, companies who want to make sure they can sell their products, I've been discussing with them. You can make profit, but at the same time, take care of people's health.
Yes.
For adults, if adults choose to eat certain thing and drink certain beverage, they make a choice. But for children, we always advocate no marketing of unhealthy food to children.
I think having you here describing the successful Egyptian experience fighting or, eliminating virus C waiting list, I think that was very interesting to hear you saying that persistence, will, and group desire to face a problem was the key to solve this problem. Mrs. Chan, very happy to meet you, very glad to listen to what you said.
Mona, thank you to meet you.
Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
الحمد لله احنا مستنيين ندخل كأس العالم